One, two, three. Hello, one, two, three. Can you guys see me? 卡不卡？觉得怎么样？可以吗？网络怎么样？画面怎么样？能看得清楚吗 ？Hello, everybody. Hello. 在我们正式开始这一周五直播之前，我想先跟大家确认，现在我这个画面不就没有问题吧？ Are we good? Are we good? Tell me, fam. Tell me, family, are we good to go? And I will start this show. But I've just got to know is if you can see me clear enough, HD even. Having trouble to start as usual? No, wait, are we having trouble to start? I don't know. Are we having trouble? So far, so good. Kevin, don't say that. You're going to scare me. You're going to scare the shit out of me. 但是这个画面怎么样 Hey, thank you. I love you too. But Asriel, Dustin, you're watching from Facebook. Is there any problem here? Are we good? Dustin, can you see me clearly? Can you see me clearly? Is it like choppy? Is my sound going through? Are we all good on this front? Yes. Yes. Good. Okay. Nice， 今天好清晰呀，太好了，太好了，那就是我们要正式开始这周五晚上直播。We are going to formally start another week of Friday night streaming. Hello, happy weekend, happy Friday. I am your good friend Lila Farley. Tonight we're drinking Lagunitas IPA. Lagunitas. Hello. I don't really like IPAs that much, but I do like Lagunitas IPA. So as we begin another Friday night streaming, cheers to you guys. Thanks for coming. Let's have a good Friday evening. Another Friday evening in quarantine, baby. Woo! America number one in deaths. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Awesome. Everything's fantastic, glowing. Wow, thank you, Lottery. 我是香港人。对最近香港高官遭到制裁有什么看法？我很有看法。但是我首先想再次正式欢迎大家 coming to Friday night streaming. Thanks, Kevin. I love you too. And I also put a lot of work into that video. So as long as you like it, man, I'm happy. I killed myself for that video. Lottery， 我们就先回答一下你这个问题啊，很有意思。对，最近香港这高官遭到这个制裁，我有什么看法？我觉得应得，我不知道大家有没有看我最近这一期新冷战2020 I don't know if you guys have seen the latest episode of Cold War 2020, but I am not a big fan of Carrie Lam. Not a big fan of Carrie Lam. I think that she's a pussy ass bitch. And I don't mean that in a 性别歧视. I don't mean that in any type of discriminative way. I'm a feminist for sure, but I do think that Carrie Lam is a bitch. And I don't mean bitch like she's mean. I mean that she's like a coward. 我的意思是说 Carrie Lam 她是一个胆小鬼，所以我觉得她还有这些其他高官遭到制裁是应得的后果，应得的。我们其实早就应该有这个，对吧？我们早就应该制裁他，我们早就应该就不让他，还有他所有的家属，还有他们的财产，就不能，或者说如果已经在海外的话，我们立马就要收，你不能有啊。That's my view. Carrie Lam is bad. She's not good. Definitely not a fan of her at all. Mika, look at this. I can know your guys' names. 你看到了吗？我们这个乐乐直播升华了，我们更上一层楼了。你们在这边问一个问题，我就可以显现出，我就可以在这个视频上放。So Mika, thank you very much for your tip and your donation. It means a lot to Lila Farley Productions. Most of my videos, 我不知道大家知不知道，但是我大多数的视频都被黄标，所以这个广告的收入也是受到了很大的影响。但是呢，其实 YouTube 如果你想 不被黄标，那你只能拍，就是也可以发到中国微博啊或者哔哩哔哩的视频。所以我对这个一点都不感兴趣。A lot of my videos on YouTube, they get marked for various reasons, because I cuss and because I'm talking about sensitive topics. And but I'm not going to censor myself for YouTube. If I did censor myself into YouTube standards, I could put this content on China's internet. I could just put it on Bilibili. I could put it on Weibo, and I wouldn't have to, I would be able to make a lot more money being a white monkey and sucking the big long D of the CCP. The big long D of the CCP. That is going to be the next name of my indie band. Guys, don't forget to drink this weekend. We have 4 IPAs. We're going to do this tonight. We're doing 4 IPAs, and that's a lot, kind of. So we're really going to get into it this evening. Yeah, I tried to do her British accent. Oh, look at this, Mask Man. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks, Mask Man. Your picture, 你这张图片感觉有点像美国的 wrestling， 但是也有点像墨西哥的那种风格，就他的这个面具，我觉得倾向于墨西哥。But I don't really watch a lot of wrestling, so I'm not a professional. I couldn't tell you. Hey, let's go back though. Boy Jung, first of all, what's up? Nice to see you again. I'm glad you caught on her British accent. That's a good question that we could ask the British people or even the Australians of our audience. How did I do on the accent? Because the Australian accent, I mean, obviously I did really poorly. The Australian accent, I almost just purposely tried to do it badly because like I just knew that I wasn't going to be able to actually do a good Australian accent, so I just tried to go over the top. 其实我知道自己基本上没有办法模仿那个澳大利亚的口音，所以我在模仿他的时候，我故意的去就是有点过分啊，就 Roy， 因为我觉得这有点好笑啊。其实南方公园，他们讽刺不同口音的时候也会就是玩这一套，就是说知道自己在模仿这个口音这方面不足，那要不然我就是过分一点，对吧？要不我就 it is fun, at least for the Australian accent is difficult for me, and it's also difficult for me to do the British accent because I mix them up. But the only thing that I can do with accents, if I'm with an Australian person, like for a week, like I have a really good Australian friend. One of my best friends is Australian. He came and hung out with me for 2 weeks. After those 2 weeks, I could do an Australian accent. No problem. No fucking problem. But the only problem is that I haven't heard an Australian accent in so long. So I just had to do like a really cheap, like, right, all right, then. It would be like an Australian person being like, yeah, man, I love Trump. I'm a huge fan of Donald Trump. He's the best goddamn president I've ever seen. That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Gavin, you always say that. I'm very interested because, Gavin, you were here last time for like 10 minutes. Where are you, dude? Where are you at? Nice to see you, though, Gavin. But where are you at, G-Money? You know what I'm saying? You always come a little later here, man. Someone just asked an interesting question. But first of all, what's up, Baby Wildwood? Thank you for that tip. This is Baby Wildwood, everybody. If you're interested in hitting her up for some language exchange practice, feel free to do that. I'm just kidding. I don't know if Baby Wildwood wants language exchange. Baby Wildwood, you asked a good question though. Baby Wildwood, 他说乐乐你的 T-shirt 啥时候出来？So if you're not a member or a patron of me, you don't know this, but recently I've been trying to work out a first generation of clothing and merchandise that I can put out there. Now, I'm red-green colorblind. I don't know shit about style. Like all my clothes and my suits and stuff, or there's like my sister and my mother has told me. 其实我不知道大家有没有听懂我刚才说的这句话，但是我是红绿色盲，所以我对于就是时尚这其实没什么概念，一点都不了解，不知道怎么穿的比较搭， 全都是我姐姐或者我妈跟我说的。So I'm trying to work out a first generation of clothing to do in merchandise that we can give out to my patrons and members, and then also have available for a very affordable price to everybody. Now, I took a vote from everybody for the colors, and we have a blue and a reddish pink, and it was almost 50-50. So I think that we're probably going to have to just do both. But Baby Wildwood, to answer your question, 长话短说，我估计应该能够在这一个月8月份在这个月之内能够把它们做出来，并且就可以寄给会员啊，寄给 patrons。应该就可以在 August. We should be able to, by the end of August, have some clothing and merchandise that people can wear and represent shit and, like, you know, kill it. We're trying to look fly. I'm trying. I don't want people to like I have, this is the shirt I have right now. Like, like I get it. This is a really important movement, and it's really important for people to know it. But I want to make it a little bit more fashionable, I guess. 就稍微时尚一点，对吧？ I got recommended by NTD, which you should thanks them. Lottery. Let me tell you, I'm friends with those guys. We talk. I'm going to be on there again, I think, in the near future. I was talking with them. There's so much to talk about, so I should be on that podcast again in the near future, I would hope. Those guys are good dudes. Good dudes. Love you too, Baby Wildwood. Thank you. I would love to have a Chief Accelerator shirt. That's a good idea. Kevin, this is why we have to do this. This is a good idea. This is a good suggestion. I like that. If you can do a logo, 如果这边有观众就是比较懂设计这方面的话，你随时可以在推特，但是最好的是在 Instagram 上面可以私信我。如果你对设计啊、对时尚、对这方面感兴趣的话，可以把应该叫样品的截图或者图片通过 Instagram 发给我。If anybody's watching right now that's interested in that type of stuff, like interested in logo design or any of that stuff, feel free to send it to any of your makeups on Instagram. Send that stuff over. Would love to see it. Would love to hear any and other opinions, because it's completely foreign to me. I'm not great at style and fashion, all that stuff. As I said, I'm a red-green colorblind man. It's the funniest disability in the world, actually. If anybody else here is colorblind, you'll realize that people really like to make fun of you if you're colorblind. People really like to laugh at you, especially around Christmas time, because I'm red-green colorblind. Cheers, guys. We gotta pound through these. We're 13 minutes in, and I haven't even finished one. Yeah, I feel like maybe I should. I don't think I can. I can't get it in my stream. I will eventually. One of these days. Hey, this is from Hong Kong. Thanks for letting people know about the CCP. 人中间理. I can't read traditional characters. It's so embarrassing. I can't read traditional characters. I'm sorry. So sorry. Let's see. David, thank you so much for that tip. David says, Matt and Winston sent me. Yeah, we were just talking about Matt and Winston. I think I might do another episode with them soon, because there's so much to talk about. There's so much to talk about with China and the US. Every fucking day, there's something to talk about. It's crazy. It's crazy. Matt and Winston sent me, I want a shirt in Chinese, add oil. Cheers. Yes. So, David, that's a great suggestion. And one thing that I was explaining on my members and patron only stream last week was that what I'm trying to do, like my entire purpose for comedy, for doing rap, you can sum it up with one word in Chinese, and that's 咱们. 咱们. In Chinese, there's two we's. There's 我们 and there's 咱们. 我们 is like the we that we know in English, like you, like we, like it's the one that we're familiar with. But 咱们 is used in the north part of China, and 咱们's got a little bit of a difference, and it's inclusive. So if you hear someone say 咱们走吧, like you're included in that, right? It kind of like feels a little bit more intimate when you hear 咱们. So like if you're with friends and they're like, hey, 乐乐,咱们去喝几杯吧, like let's go drink a little some beers, 乐乐. And I just love that word, and I just love the slight difference that it has with woman. And the entire reason that I do stand-up comedy, the reason that I do the Cold War series, the reason I'm doing this streaming, the reason I do all my raps is because of this principle that I've used. I've called the Zaman principle, which is to try and, I guess you could say, unite the East and West, but that's kind of corny and it sounds kind of big. But that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to tell the world that the youth of the East and the West are much more similar than we are different. And the things that we want in reality are actually very similar. And that there's only people above us that are trying to tell us to be enemies, that want to tell us to turn us against each other. But in reality, as someone that's studied Chinese for 12 mother freaking years, and I know a ton of Chinese people, and I have a lot of Chinese friends, as well as obviously, you know, a lot of American friends too. I've lived in 11 different places in America. I'm telling you guys, I'm stuck in between these two cultures. I'm stuck in between the two powers of the world, the US and China right now. And it's like we need to learn to get along, and it's definitely possible. And the only way that I think I can contribute to that process is through rap and through humor. That's it. So every single thing I do, if you look at it and you really analyze it to the core, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to make people, either through laughing or through bouncing their head to a sweet hip hop beat or some rhymes, just be like, hey, 其实没有你们,没有我们,只有咱们. There's no you, there's no me, there's only 咱们. And so the 咱们 characters, I'm going to definitely put on the merchandise that I make, because that is in really one word that really summarizes what I'm going for. But thanks, David, though. Cheers to you. Thanks for that. I appreciate it, man. I'm also nice. Let me get that off the screen there. There we go. I have nothing against Mandarin, but it's such a lie when the government poo-poos on local dialects and claims that Mandarin is the most original and similar to ancient Chinese. I don't really know that. 呀，你可，你好，欢迎，很开心你把你的第一次给我啊。Let's see. Hey, if you've been enjoying my rap, that makes me a happy person, man. To be honest with you, my rapping skills are only going to get better. 所以大家如果已经喜欢我的说唱，那我希望我下一首歌还有下一首歌，就是都会有一点进步啊，对吧？就任何创意都应该是这样。So I would hope that every rap I do will get better. And I have the rap song I just came out with, Donald the Pooh, where I refer to Xi Jinping and Donald Trump. And then also my next song is going to come out in about 3 weeks. And then the one after that's going to come out in about a month and a half. And the next two songs I'm really excited for. I really like them a lot. I'm a huge fan of them. They're very fun. 一正 shit man, 我也第一次看你直播，哇，特别开心。今天晚上有这么多人要把他们的第一次给我。So happy to have your first time, guys. You know, so happy. They don't call me the Hyman pulverizer for nothing. That's a dirty joke. Don't listen to me. If you're studying English, don't learn that word. Hyman. It's a bad one. Don't listen to it. Kane says, ignore my Facebook. Say hi to Eric. Caden, I didn't see your Facebook, so I don't know what you said. I don't know what to ignore, but I appreciate the tip, brother. I appreciate that, man, for sure. Kane also says Vietnamese friends. Wow, Vietnamese friends. I'm not sure what you mean, but thank you for your tip. I have a few Vietnamese friends, but most of them are actually Hua Qiao. Most of them are actually Chinese, like Chinese abroad. There's like a word for it. I only know the Chinese for it. Hua Qiao. That's all I know. Dude, those red party cups you see here, what color do you see them? 这个很有意思的问题，其实一点都不一。This is a question I get all the time. What about the green right here too, right? So the red I see is mostly the same as you. It's only when it's all fucking mixed together. It's only when the red and green is all mixed together that sometimes I can't differentiate the colors in between. If you're really interested, you should Google colorblind boat test, and there's a picture of a boat that's hidden, and that was the one that I failed when I was 9 years old. I was playing Candyland with my older sister, and I kept moving the character. When I'd get a purple, I'd move blue, because actually I have the biggest trouble with purple and blue. And my sister kept calling me an idiot and a retard. And finally, I got a colorblind test in my next physical, and I failed the test where it's a boat. I guess it's a boat. That's what I've heard. That's what people have told me. I don't actually know. So I just wanted to clarify the feeling the CSPM on the home pushing Mandarin is discouraging local dialects. Yes, Jaden, that is a good point. But I mean, I wish that they could keep local dialects. I wish that they did. But the party's never going to do that. The party's never going to do that, for sure. How is the new computer? Vacuum, you tell me. What do you think of the last? I mean, I am more productive, for sure. I put out a video for those of you that are legends or messiahs on my Patreon or YouTube. If you're the rank 2 or 3, you should go check out the video I just put out, because I just did a blooper video of the Cold War 2020 video I just did. And it's, at least when I was editing it, I thought it was pretty fucking funny. Let's see. Someone just asked something about Ma Sirui and Guo Jierui. Also, Kane, thank you for that. And say hello to Eric. Hey, Eric. Hey, Eric. Are you watching right now, Eric? I'm saying hello to you. Eric, I'm looking at you. Were you on a boat earlier today listening to my music? Was that you, Eric? Kane, was that him? 乐乐、马思睿和国杰瑞，你更讨厌哪一个？ Whoa, whoa, whoa! I don't 讨厌 either of those guys. I do not hate either of them. 那两个我都不讨厌。马思睿首先他中文非常好，所以我佩服他。我就是任何能够把中文学到这个程度的老外，我都会在一定的程度上佩服他们啊。第二，我其实国姐瑞，我也在以前的直播中也说过，其实我觉得人家本来就是他的初心，他的出发点，只不过是想给中国人提供另外一个视角，就是说不是视角，另外一种 content。因为很多这些中文说的一般，或者说中级水平以上的老外博主们，他们拍的内容都很一致，都非常的相似，非常的单一。但是呢，国姐瑞想从一个商业的这方面切入，就这个切入点去讲中国啊，还有中国的发展什么的，只不过是因为他走到就是他现在如此有名，他才不得不舔共。那么他选择要继续舔共，我觉得不能说无可厚非，因为确实他们现在把维族人就是投进到集中营啊什么的，你如果还是继续想跟中国共产党合作的话，我觉得我们其实可以说你人品有问题啊。I mean， 我觉得 you can say that. You could say that if you're working with the Chinese government at this point, you have some type of moral or ethical, I don't know, shortcoming, I guess you could say. But at the same time, I know there's a lot of American companies that work with the Chinese government right now. And so like you got to work. What I think is, honestly, if I'm being honest, I think the American government needs to subsidize America's supply chain moving out of China and in Southeast Asia or back to America. America needs to subsidize it. Like, a lot of people think I'm a Democrat, but I definitely think businesses are really important and usually put businesses first. And I think that the American government needs to subsidize getting those fucking supply chains out of there, man. Get them out of there. I mean, fucking, we joined the World Trade. They joined the World Trade Organization. So American companies invested in China, put their supply chains there under the impression that things would be okay, that we'd be able to keep going there. And guess what? That was wrong. That was wrong. We should have stood up to China a long time ago, or at least the party a long time ago. Can I buy you a drink if I ever make it to LA? Would be fun. Gavin, if you ever make it to LA, I'm buying you a drink, brother. That's for damn sure. So yes, but 相反，你如果要来洛杉矶的话，我给你，我请你啊，我请你啊。Okay. Hi, Lila. Would love to hear your thoughts on TikTok ban. I do have some thoughts on the TikTok ban. Hold on. Fucking goddamn. I do have some thoughts on the TikTok ban. The thing is, can we all honestly sit here and look ourselves in the mirror and say that the American government doesn't already have all of our information? Because I think it probably does, right? Now, the difference is that the American government isn't committing genocide, as far as we know, and they're not crushing Hong Kong, right? So do you want the Chinese government to have all your information? I think it's up to the consumer, right? Isn't that what freedom is about? If you want to give all of your information to the Chinese government, which is a tyrannical and evil government that is literally causing, that is literally committing genocide. That's your choice. That's your choice, right? I mean, I'm down to hear other people's opinions. But isn't that your choice? I feel like that's a part of freedom, right? That you can have the choice to do that, to give your information to a government. Like, here's the thing. I won't use TikTok because I can't have them knowing my information. That's bad for me. We have laws in the US that stops the government from using our data for any purposes. Yeah, but Nara, there's that great documentary on Netflix that talks about the Cambridge Analytics scandal. And if you look at what's his name, Snowden's interview on Joe Rogan's podcast, I mean, it at least in my impression of it, my understanding is that's complete bullshit. Is that just the fact that we have laws that stops the US government from using our data? I think they still use it. Right. Now, see, this is the thing. I'm a linguist, guys. I am not a cybersecurity analyst by any means. Okay. I am not a cybersecurity, so I'm just giving my own, I'm freeballing it right now. This is my own direct interpretation. Now, here's the thing. That's TikTok. Honestly, if they take TikTok out, if I'm being honest with you guys, I don't like TikTok. I think TikTok's bad for your brain. I think TikTok fucks with your dopamine systems really intensely because, as we all know, cell phones, you can become addicted to cell phones, and we can become addicted to Instagram. You can become addicted to all of social media for sure. But the thing about TikTok is it really hones in on that desire to just keep another stimulation, click. You just scoop it up and you'll get another stimulation. It's funny. More pictures. More colors. Babes, like that. And that will fuck your brain up. That will fuck the dopamine circuits up in your brain. That is a fact for sure. I went to Emory University in Atlanta, and anybody that's familiar with Emory knows that it has a really good pre-med program. And so I have a lot of friends that are doctors now, actually, but also I've got a few friends that are neurosurgeons, and it's really interesting to talk to them about how well known it is that the phone and these type of apps will fuck your brain up. Like, it's really well known to the point where the people that make these apps, they don't let their kids use the apps after 6 o'clock at night. Right? So it is a drug. And guys, I've talked about this. I've talked about this on other streams. I'm a huge fan of a lot of drugs, shrooms, LSD, marijuana. I suggest these to everyone. I suggest them to all of you. But drugs like cocaine, drugs like Adderall, speed, that fuck with your dopamine systems, that's addictive. Like LSD and shrooms are not addictive. If anybody's ever tripped on shrooms, I always describe it as, hey, have you ever been on vacation to an island? When you're done with that island, like, you had a great time. You had a great 4 days on the island. You went snorkeling. You got sunburnt. You got drunk during the day. It was really, really fun. But by the time you're done with that island vacation, you're ready to go home, right? You're ready. You're ready to go home. You're like, listen, I'm good. I'm tan. I'm ready to go home and tell people about my experience, right? Now, here's the thing. LSD and shrooms are like that. When you get on them, you have a good time. You'll laugh with your friends. You might cry from laughing so hard. You might have revelations that will change your fucking life. But by the time you're done tripping on shrooms or LSD, you're like, all right, I'm good. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back to normal. I feel good now. I don't need to do that again for quite a while, So those drugs are good. But if you're doing drugs like cocaine and you're doing drugs like meth and TikTok, seriously, I put them in the same fucking realm, man. Sugar. These drugs are addictive. They keep you they play on the worst part of human consciousness, which is greed, which is more. Ooh, more. I want more. That is the worst quality we have as humans that will destroy you. If you pursue the need for more, just give me a little bit more, man. Just give me a little bit more booze. Just give me a little bit more speed. That will kill you and that will destroy you. And TikTok is the same goddamn thing. So if you're asking me, what do I feel about TikTok? I think it's a shitty app and I don't think people should do it. I don't think kids should use it for sure. But, I think that Americans should have the freedom to give their data to a tyrannical government. I do think that they probably should have that freedom. But my view on this is 灵活, is very flexible. Rob Roy, very interesting. WoW is digital crack too. God, I could go on a goddamn spiel about this, man. World of Warcraft. All right, we're gonna get into this. 1 second. I got something I gotta say, because Joe Rogan recently made a statement hating on video games. He hated on video games, and specifically, people always highlight World of Warcraft for video game addictions. And I gotta talk about this real quick. But we're gonna get another beer. I still don't have a bottle opener. I still have to open it with my speaker. There we go. I haven't got a bottle opener because I always forget. To get a bottle opener. First of all, Prime in China. Good question. Do people still play World of Warcraft? The answer is yes, because World of Warcraft Classic just came out. Or not just came out. It's been out for almost a year now. So people have really enjoyed it, including myself. I played it for a while. I haven't played it for quite a few months. But the difference between World of Warcraft and other video games is it's social. I have friends that I met on World of Warcraft. I have friends that I met on Star Wars Galaxies. I have friends that I met on Minecraft. If you can meet people in massive multiplayer online role-playing games, I think that's different, because you're actually doing what is so essential for happiness. And that's social. There's a great documentary called Happiness, if you guys want to watch it. But the conclusion basically is, if you want happiness, you really need to try and have a great social life. And for some people, especially during this goddamn virus, that's social, man. That's social. Like, I'm friends with a lot of the guys that I met playing Star Wars Galaxies and World of Warcraft. I'm still friends with them. I still know them. One of them came and toured my college. I took him around. I took him around school. So interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting because anybody that's watched my streams before, you guys know that when the Burning Crusade comes out for WoW Classic, Lila Farley fucking likes to work out and likes to do humorous videos and whatever. I'm going to be doing some video game streaming for the first time in my life. I'm going to do that when the Burning Crusade comes out, and you guys are going to love it because I am a troll. And some people on WoW think I'm hilarious and love me. Some people think I'm just an asshole. But anyway, cheers to you guys. Thanks for coming to another night. 我知道我现在这个英语说的非常多，有点不好意思，但是就一下子冲动的话，我就想说母语，而且这一整天，这一整个星期啊，我都在说中文。现在难得这么一次机会，可以跟大家说英语，我其实觉得比较自在。Hi Lila, if you could change one thing about China, what would it be? What an interesting question. What an interesting question. If I could fix or change one thing about China, what would it be? I think China needs Sum 41. China needs fucking 9 Inch Nails. China needs Eminem. China needs Rage Against the Machine. Like, China needs Chinese people, because they don't grow up interacting with this music that highlights the rage that we all feel as humans. Just, if you're a human being, we will all feel it at times in our life. Fucking rage. Just rage and anger and just a feeling where you just want to fuck shit up. Chinese people don't have a chance to construct that rage through songs like Bite the Hand That Feeds You. Bite that fucking hand. So if I could change one thing about Chinese people, I would want to change and channel that rage. I would want to be able to give them this feeling of, yo, you should bite the motherfucking hand that feeds you. Yeah, China has all kinds of metal bands. Scott Law, if you want to listen to Chinese metal bands or Chinese current metal bands or Chinese rap, it's like having sex with 2 condoms on. Okay, it's like having sex with 2 condoms on. It's not even close to real. It's not even close to real. Kane says, say something about Nathan for Eric. Oh, you mean Nathan Rich, i.e. Nathan Bitch? The question is, why isn't the story of Nathan Rich, this guy that sells his soul so willingly for the Chinese party, why is this guy not a New York Times article? Why is there not a goddamn segment on The Daily Show that talks about these Americans that go on camera and say, the world misunderstands the Communist Party. The world misunderstands the Communist Party. China's great. Xi Jinping's a good leader. He does not look like Winnie the Pooh at all. And America is a bunch of imperial douchebags. Can I have my money now? Fucking sack of shit. Nathan Rich also, you Google up Nathan Rich's girlfriend. There's some pictures. I only know this because I had to Google image Nathan Rich for pictures for my one of my videos. And there's a picture of him and his Chinese girlfriend who looks like she's had quite a bit of plastic surgery, which that is exactly the type of Chinese girl that would like Nathan Rich. Oh, Oh, you're famous? Yeah, well, have you seen my nose? Have you seen my nose? Have you seen my double eyelids? Have you seen my sawed off chin? Those are the kind of girls that go for Nathan Rich. They don't care about who you are as a human. They care about the fact that you have popularity. You have followers. Oh my God, you have followers. Woo! Yay! I'm going to be famous. If I'm famous, then all the problems in my life will be fixed. As long as people know who I am, all these depressions, I'll be able to sleep at night. I'll be a happy person as long as I'm famous, as long as people give me likes, as long as people give me views. That being said, please like, share, and comment on the last Cold War 2020. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Here, Master Chief. Yo, Master Chief. Happy to see you, man. Always happy to see you. Always happy to see you. You're always a fun addition to the Drua. Lila, on a scale of 1 to 10, how jealous of you are of Guiuelo 60? I don't actually know who that is. I actually don't know who that is. So, not that jealous. Is it the black dude that studied a bunch of language? No, it's Lao Shu. I don't know who that is, unfortunately. So, I can't be jealous of him yet, but I bet I could be. M. Crafts, Xi Jinping looks more like Shrek. Xi Jinping looks more like the tire guy, like the Michelin tires. I don't know if you guys know who I'm talking about. The Michelin tire. For those of you guys that don't know, you can Google him. I feel like Xi Jinping kind of looks like the Michelin tire guy. Nara, thanks for asking that. How long did it take to edit your Cold War video? So this Cold War video, I spent 3 hours editing it the night before on Wednesday night. And then I woke up at 6 a.m. on Thursday morning. And I couldn't go back to sleep because I was so stressed about editing this video. I was so stressed about like not being able to edit it well that I couldn't go back to sleep, even though I went to sleep at 1 a.m. I woke up at 6 and I just started editing. I edited from 6 until 11:30. And then I got into a fight with the girl I went on a date with last week. And then the fight ended at around 1. And I started editing again. I finished editing at 4:30. So in total, probably 10 hours probably. I mean, a long time. A really long time. It took me a long time to edit that one. So thanks for asking that, Nara. I'm glad that you guys liked it. It's actually my favorite Cold War. It's definitely my favorite Cold War for sure. While I was editing it, I was just like, God damn, this is ridiculous, man. Especially when I was writing the script too for that. You know it's a good script when you're writing it and you're laughing while you write it. That's not that. Whoa. What do you mean that sucks to hear, Ash? It doesn't suck. I do this for you, my brother. I do this for my subscribers, for all of you guys, as well as my patrons and members that support me. It brings me an inexplicable, ineffable amount of joy. It does not suck. I like it a lot. The only thing that sucks about editing is adding subtitles. That's the only thing that fucking drives me fucking crazy, dude. It drives me crazy. Subtitles suck, but I have to do them. I have to. I want a bilingual audience. I want you guys. I want an audience that's interested in language. I do it for you guys. But the other editing, one of these days I'll be able to hire someone that will do subtitles for me. Once I have that, I'll be able to put out fucking a video every other day. Look at that. I got spots on my face from that. Was the fight political or personal? Personal. I think it was probably personal. It wasn't very deep though. It wasn't like a really interesting fight. Not very interesting. Oh yeah, the fight. Do you need an intern to do all the grunt work like subs? Here's the thing, Rob Roy. It would be great to have an intern to do my subtitles. But I also want to be able to control my subtitles. I don't want people fucking up what I'm saying, especially the Chinese to English. I don't want people fucking up the Chinese to English. I want to make sure that it's exactly what I'm trying to articulate, you know? So I'm kind of a little bit in a catch-22 here. Wow, 45 minutes and I'm not even 2 beers in. Fuck, what's happening, man? I'm such a coward. God damn it. Ugh. Oh, look at Prime in China. Prime in China. I definitely looked at one of your videos of Nathan Rich, and I looked at the comment section, which had a Chinese comment, and I used that to learn how to use Chinese to talk about how much of a piece of shit that guy was. I was thinking about that because you hit me up on Instagram, and that's what it was. I used your comment section to study Chinese. It was great. Irrational Bull, thank you for that tip, brother. The CCP definitely deserves criticism, sanctions placed on them, etc. But do you think Falun Gong, extreme right-wingers, harm the cause more than hell? God damn, that is such a good fucking question. Let me take another sip of my beer while I think it out. I think that Falun Gong. Okay, so here's the thing. I appreciate Falun Gong. If you want to meditate or pray or do whatever you want, if you're Catholic, if you're Christian, if you're Hindu, if you're Jewish, I don't fucking care. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. I guess you could say I'm agnostic. I believe that we are stuck in an infinite series of matrices. But if you believe that Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior and that he came down and blah, 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 all this bullshit, like all this stuff, I don't care. I really don't care. The only thing I care about is if you try to push your views on other people. This is where I care, right? Because there's like Baby Wildwood, who is a member of mine and a constant supporter. She's also a big Trump fan. And she sometimes asks me, like if I say something, she's like, well, that didn't convince me. And I tell her, I'm like, yo, listen, I don't care if I convince you to believe the way I believe. I'm just putting my opinion out there. And if you guys think that the way I see things or feel about things has validity, then I think you can take little sections from my opinion and apply them to your own life. That would be great, you know, because that's what life's about. It's about learning from each other. That's why freedom of speech is so important, is that we can discuss things with each other. And only through discussion can we really grow, right? So, Falun Gong, the problem with Falun Gong is that they take to the extreme. And the extreme is demifying the entirety of the Communist Party. And here's the thing. The Communist Party, in its current state, is a fucking abomination, is a monster, is on par with the Third Reich, right? It is a bad thing. It is evil to the core. However, you cannot say that all Communist Party members are evil to their core, right? I've met a lot of Communist Party members. I've met a lot, even higher ups. And a lot of them are aware of the fucked up things that the party does. They just don't care because they're benefiting from it. They just don't care. They're getting theirs, right? In Chinese, there's a saying that says, only sweeping the snow off the front of your own porch and the front of your own door, not sweeping it off other people's. And that's what they live by, and that's what a lot of Chinese people live by. So as the Falun Gong, if you just attack the party 100%, if you are black and white, anti-Chinese Communist Party, then people aren't going to listen to you. And it's the same thing with extreme right-wingers. If you are an extreme right-winger, if you're a Trump fan, if you're a 粉丝 of Trump, if you're a fan of Trump, versus just analyzing his policies, then people are not going to listen to you. Because if you're extreme with anything, even right now with the current atrocities of the Chinese Communist Party, if you take to extremes, people will not listen to you. And so Falun Gong, you have a good message. They have a good message. But especially before Xi came to power, their extreme stance, their extreme anti-CCP stance alienated a lot of people, right? Alienated a lot of people that could have been their allies. And it's the same thing with right-wingers. I grew up in Texas, man. Like, seriously, I grew up until I was 14 years old, and I moved up to New England. I went to a boarding school up in New England. I had to change my accent. But when I was younger, I used to talk like this. I swear to God. I'm telling you what, man, if you want to go look at videos of me from when I was a young kid, I was all about yes, ma'am, no, sir. Hell yeah. I know what the appeal is of republicanism. In fact, I think as a student of economics, I tend to agree with less federal government involvement and more state government autonomy. And Texas is the exemplar of right-wing ideology, how it can work, how republicanism can actually work. Texas is experimenting with just free power at night, free energy at night. And like, if you're able to govern your state so well, especially something like Texas, which is not as big as the mainland of Europe, but it's nearly as big as the mainland of Europe. Feel free to Google that. It's very interesting. Then I like that. I'm into that. But if you want to attach, no, you can't get abortions. No abortions, man. Every life, I'm going to tell women what to do with their bodies. If you say to me that, nope, gays can't get married, you know what? I don't want them gays getting married. Then you lose me. You lose me. Because who gives a fuck who you fuck? If you put your dick in a dude's butthole, I don't give a shit. If you put your dick in a dude's ear, if that's your thing, you like to fuck ears, I don't care at all. At all. It has nothing to do with me. So when extreme right-wingers, the extreme right, and the extreme left, any extremity, when you define your entire view with a set of views, it's like you have to meet every single requirement, then you're going to lose people like me. And I'm not, and when you lose people like me, then you lose power of the validity that you have in your views. And guess what? As much as Democrats don't want to admit it, there is validity in Republican views. There is. In how to govern a state and how to govern an economy, there is validity there. The thing that we need to do is separate social views from political views. Like, it's social and how to govern an economy, how to run fiscal policy should be separate issues. We shouldn't bottle them all up. Okay, we shouldn't bottle them all up. We should not. Yeah, thank you, Rob. Only Sith deal in absolutes. That's goddamn right. So Falun Gong, you know what? Guess what? Here's a hard thing to swallow. The Chinese Communist Party, from 1978, when they opened up the doors with the open door policy, all the way up until 2013, until Xi Jinping came to order, did things that Western governments should learn from. If we had that train system on the East Coast of America, if we had it anywhere, but if we had it on the East Coast, I could live in Boston and I could work in New York. What? Have you ever driven from Boston to New York? It's 6 hours of hell. It fucking sucks. But you're going to tell me that there is a way that we could invest in as a country that could make that so convenient, affordable, and comfortable that I could live in Boston and work in New York. I could go visit my family in Atlanta from Boston on the weekends. It wouldn't be a big deal. So what are we going to do? Just completely deny all the Chinese Communist Party's fruits, the fruits of their labor, the things that they did well, right? Li Keqiang, The guy that everybody talks about, Li and Xi, that have this internal battle with each other. Li Keqiang is a PhD in economics. Li Keqiang turned one of the shittiest parts of China into an economic powerhouse. How did he do that? Well, one thing he didn't have to worry about was that if he built a new railroad, he didn't have to, or a new factory, he didn't have to worry about like some, I don't know, race or some species of bird having their native environment fucked with. Right. All I'm saying is there are things that we can learn from the Chinese Communist Party. And as a student of economics, as a proprietor of the free economy, I think that we should consider that to the biggest level. I don't just want democracy. I don't just want republicanism. I don't just want democracy. I want there to be more choices so that as a citizen of this country, I can require my public servants, government workers, I can require the government to consider better options or to have things that they can learn from better models of governance, because governing is hard. Governing is really hard. It's, capitalism is good, but it's obviously not perfect. So it would be nice to have other forms of governance that we can learn from. Just like in any market economy, you want competition. We want competition. If you compete, that's good for me. Give me better service for cheaper. That's what I want. The rational bowl. So that's my answer for you. I hope that it wasn't too long. Thanks for everybody if you stuck through that spiel. Michael Frank, thank you. It's a great pick of you. I think we have the same sports jacket. I think we have the exact same sports jacket. Is that navy blue? Where'd you get it from? I think we have the same one. It's in one of my profile pictures. I forget which one. But thank you for that. Thank you for that, Michael. I appreciate your support. It means everything to us here at Lila Farley Productions. Everything. 羽山城 我现在在猜你名字的声调 but thank you for your support as well. I really appreciate that. $3. This beer is on you, Yushan. Cheers to you for sure, and cheers to you, Michael. Cheers to you guys as well for all coming. Okay. Let's open up beer number 3. Beer number 3. We're drinking IPAs tonight, guys. So these beers matter. The beers matter. They hit harder. They hit harder. Yushan, thank you. Baby Wildwood, I don't think that's true. I appreciate that you put that opinion there, but I don't think that's true. It's worth researching for sure, but it's definitely not true because Xi Jinping went to Tsinghua in 1980. I think it was 1980. Do you know what Tsinghua was like in 1980? It was a sack of shit. Okay. I mean, I don't know. He didn't get a PhD though. I can't comment on this. I just know that his 政绩, in Chinese, there's a word for political grade, was really good. And he took some of the shittiest areas in China and brought them good stuff. Quick look at Insta. Read this for @Prime in China last pick. I don't know what that means, Kane. I don't know what that means. Read this for Prime in China last pick. Thanks for the tip, but Prime in China last pick. I'm reading this, whatever that is. Yeah, this isn't Burning Crusade General Chat. NFT2, what's up? Welcome back. Yes, Baby Wildwood, I know Tsinghua is a great university, but in 1980, When the Cultural Revolution ended in 1976, open door policy didn't really start until 1978, but it really didn't start to actually take effects until 1980. Tsinghua definitely was nothing like it is now. It was definitely nothing like it is now. NFT too. Yeah, I put you on the video, dude. Welcome. 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 One of these days, you, me, and some of the other boys, Gavin, we're gonna play the Burning Crusade together. We're gonna do it together. The question is, are we gonna be Horde or Alliance? That's gonna be an awkward question to deal with. I don't know who Milton Friedman is. I don't know who that is. So I can't tell you my opinion on him because I have no idea who the fuck that is. 走走后门，人情社会太常见了。这个的确有道理啊。W Project 这个在美国也有，肯定有啊，真的。我姐姐特别厉害，但是我姐姐之所以能够拿到她第一次实习的机会，就是因为我爸爸的这个人脉，他的关系，才能给她这一次的机会。那当然，最后如果我的姐姐就是没有发挥好，她没有办法升级，她没有办法升职。但是他之所以能够拿到这一次机会，也是因为关系啊。全世界都是这样，全世界都是这样。The whole world works on connections, unfortunately. Let's see. Picture and Instagram, just read headline. It's deleted now. I can't look at Instagram because I'm streaming. But thanks, Kane. Kane's got a really sick boat. I don't know if you guys are interested in this. If I was a unwedded lady, I would definitely be trying to hit up Kane because he's got a sick boat that I would like to go on one day to crush beers on. Let's see what we got here. 只许州官放火，不许百姓点灯。首先，我想告诉你，我也爱你，谢谢。我看到了你在这个评论区，还有在这个 chat box 不断的说乐乐我爱你，我也爱你，你爱我，我也爱你。Thank you very much for saying that. 乐乐，你觉得我们有生之年能看到 CCP 倒台的那一天吗 ？PS， 我觉得习近平的智商就是小学水平。So, God damn. Been smoking too many spliffs. This user, for those of you that can't read Chinese, is asking me, do you think that we will see the end of the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, in our lifetime? She also said, P.S. Xi Jinping's IQ is that of an elementary school student. For those of you that don't speak Chinese, it's actually a well-known fact that Xi Jinping is a fucking moron, that he's really not well-read. He cannot read. He cannot speak to an audience without having a script right in front of him, much like Nathan Rich, much like all these other white monkeys. But let's get back to the question here. Will we see the downfall of the Chinese Communist Party in our lifetime? Hell fucking yeah. Hell yeah. You might see it within this cycle of your period if you're a woman. The Chinese Communist Party is fucked right now, guys. Like, I know that things are bad in America, especially. Like, I was looking at a death report for the coronavirus. And it was like all these countries were like 100, 150, like 200, 300 for the day. Then the USA, 7,000. It's like, nice. America, number one. But the CCP right now, the Chinese government, is fucked, dude. Is fucked. And if you want to understand how fucked it is, look no farther than the man I was just talking about, the premier Li Keqiang. Li Keqiang, as I said, is a PhD in economics. If you guys want to debate the validity of that degree, feel free to do it in your own time. However, the man's success in his job speaks for himself. The dude, a lot of people say that he has like a photographic memory. A lot of people say that he's a really smart dude. And when he speaks, you can tell he's a smart dude. Everything that he says as the premier, as a PhD in economics, as a Communist Party Politburo member, that is the highest rank of the Chinese Communist Party. Every word that man says holds so much weight, not only about China, but about the global economy, because China is obviously the second biggest economy in the world. So we should scrutinize everything he says very carefully. Well, in the last 2 months, this man has said that we need 地摊经济. We need to have these vendor stands that come out again so that we can solve this horrible unemployment rate. We can solve the fact that 600 million Chinese people, at least, are living on under 1,000 yuan a month, which is like $100 and something. I think it's like $170. It's nothing. A month. 600 million. And at the same time, while he's doing this, Xi Jinping's over here saying, guys, we're good. We're good. I took care of it. Guys, we're good. Everything's going well. I know you're hungry. I know you're looking for work, but that's just you. Everything's actually really good. Don't worry about it. Everything's good. And Li Keqiang is a dude with a brain, and he knows that when China's economy starts to collapse, Xi Jinping is going to blame him. It's going to blame him. He's going to blame him. Because he knows this, he has slowly but surely started to say a little bit more about how fucked the Chinese economy is, about how bad unemployment is, about how low the monthly income is for such a large part of the economy. The reason, but you guys have to know, Xi Jinping has centralized power so intensely. Xi Jinping runs the military. He's got every aspect of the Chinese government in the palm of his motherfucking hands. So the fact that Li Keqiang, the fact that Li, we'll just call him Li so you guys can remember it easier. The fact that Li still has the balls, still has the testicular fortitude to speak out openly against Xi Jinping. The fact that he has the balls to do that when so many people have been prosecuted, like it's literally like 1 million Communist Party members have been arrested or literally sentenced to death for corruption. But this anti-corruption drive was just a cover for Xi Jinping to centralize power, to kill people that were against him or take them out. The fact that Li still has the balls to speak out against him speaks for itself. It just goes to show you that the Chinese economy, the man on this planet Earth that sees the Chinese economy clearer than anybody else, is starting to have the balls, the testicular fortitude to speak out against Xi Jinping. That means shit is fucked. Shit is fucked. So when America and the whole West starts to put sanctions, when England, who was literally, the UK was deep-throating Huawei. The UK had Huawei and China's government in its fucking tonsils, sucking that dick. And they backed out of their Huawei 5G. Even England backed out of the Huawei 5G. Everybody, the whole world is uniting against the Chinese Communist Party. So not only 只需州官放火不许百姓点灯. To answer your question, are we going to see the collapse of the CCP in our lifetime? You bet your motherfucking ass we will. If I'm a betting man, I would bet we see it within the next 18 months. 18 months to 2 years. I give it 2 years. If I'm going to do, that would be, longest would be 2 years. Longest would be 2 years. We definitely will see the collapse. Maybe not the collapse, but actually probably the collapse, because here's the thing that's going to happen with the Chinese Communist Party when Xi Jinping gets either assassinated or arrested or something. There's going to be a power vacuum. The biggest power vacuum that we've ever seen since Mao Zedong, probably even bigger than that. And if you know Chinese history, you know that when there's a power vacuum, when it's not clear who's going to be the leader in Chinese history, you know what happens? Shit gets fucked. Either dynasties fall, entire governments crumble, everything gets fucked as these guys kill each other. Usually the sons of the emperor in ancient China kill each other to try and be the emperor. So, dude, America, shit is so fucked in America right now. I will admit that for sure. But shit is terrible in China. Terrible. It's terrible. So, yes, 我们肯定能够在接下来的1年半甚至到2年之内能够看到共产党倒台。以至于其实 the CCP could collapse tomorrow. We don't know. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen in a year. It could happen in a year and a half. It could happen in 2 years. What is definite is it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. So yeah, that's the answer to your question. I hope it does too, because as soon as that government collapses, Lila Farley is going back to China, and we're going to start a new China. We're going to start a new goddamn country. I'm just kidding. I can't be a political leader, man. I'm a comedian. Ricky Jong, I knew you are from California. Your vote to Trump doesn't count that much. Do you think China Joe has dementia? Ricky Jong, first of all, thanks for your tip. I really appreciate it. First things first, I'm not from California. I lived in Kansas, then I moved to Texas, then I moved to Vermont. That's where I spent most of my pre-college years, i.e., I came from the goddamn rural part of America, man. I tell you what, I can chew tobacco. Next time we do stream, I'm going to put a big wad of chewing tobacco right here in my lips, and I'm going to chew dip for everybody. So you can see that your boy Lila Farley is a goddamn redneck at heart. All right. I love the rural place of America. I'm going to go back. To rural America when I'm older. I'm going to buy a big house. I'm going to marry a woman with some big titties, and we're going to get some big dogs, probably like 3 or 4, some ATVs, some 4-wheelers, and we're going to have a good goddamn time. All right. That's what I'm going to do when I'm older and I got some money. All right. That's the answer to your first question. I ain't from California. All right. I ain't from goddamn California. I didn't grow up here, man. Are you kidding me? You ever meet someone that grew up in California? Goddamn. That's not me, brother. Your vote for Trump doesn't count that much. I'm not going to vote for Trump because Trump is anti everything that America stands for. I said it in my last video when a reporter went up to Donald Trump and they asked, "Hey, Xi Jinping canceled the president term limits. He's now a dictator of the second biggest economy and the most influential country in the world other than America." You know what Trump said? "Oh, I wish we could do that here. Trump was a draft dodger, but the Vietnam War was bullshit anyway. But the thing that pisses me off is the fact that Trump said his own Vietnam War was dodging STDs. Did you guys know that love Mr. Donald Trump? Did you guys know that he said that his own Vietnam War was dodging sexually transmitted diseases? Did you guys know that Trump is not a businessman? That Trump has had many bankruptcies, has ruined many companies, and has fooled. When he got the job on The Apprentice, when The Apprentice show came out, approaching that show, he was basically bankrupt. Okay? He's not a businessman. He's not for America. He doesn't represent anything about America. He doesn't. Do you think that China Joe has dementia? Ricky, yes. Joe Biden definitely has dementia. As someone with a grandmother that has dementia, I'll tell you, Joe Biden has dementia. And guess what? Trump has dementia too. Trump is just not as far in his dementia. Trump is just like in the beginning stages of his dementia. Joe Biden's balls deep in his dementia. So the question is, do I choose from a turd sandwich or a fucking big fucking douche? What is it? The South Park reference. There's a really great South Park that talks about this. Why is it that in democracy, I have to choose from two big, flappy fucking sacks of shit? So this is the reason that I don't hate Trump fans. This is the reason if you like Trump, I don't have any problems with you. Because what? What's your other choice? What's your other choice? Joe Biden? He sucks too. What is your other choice? Joe Biden's like, if I'm sitting here and I'm like, guys, dude, Joe Biden's the one, man. Joe Biden he's the hero we've been looking for. Oh my God. 2020 coronavirus. We've had the most influential black swan moment of human history. Guys, oh, Joe Biden's our hero. I'm a liar. That's lying. Anybody that thinks that is a fucking liar. In the same way that anybody that thinks Trump is a savior is a fucking liar. Both of them are old, out of touch, dementia-ridden Caucasian men. Okay, and I can say that because I'm a white guy. So, yeah, that's the reason. If I vote, I don't even know if I can vote for either of them because I just dislike both of them so much. I just dislike them so much. I don't know if I can vote for either of them. The only person that you're voting for is you're voting for Joe Biden's vice president. That's what you're voting for because she's going to be the one that runs the whole world, the free world. It's not going to be Biden. It's not going to be Biden. It's going to be goddamn the vice president. So I hope he chooses a good vice president. Let's hope. That's who we're voting for. Democracy. Woo! Let's go democracy. Fighting for vice president. Do you watch Jiang Feng Shike or commenters like him? Which one is he? Is he like the fatter, older guy? Nara? Is he like the fatter, older guy with glasses? Jiang Feng Shike. I don't know which one he is. I watch a lot of commenters. I watch a lot of Chinese commenters. And a lot of them are full of shit. A lot of them are full of shit. Okay. A lot of the Chinese commenters are full of shit. Like Tianliang Shike or whatever his name. Full of shit. 公子时评分析共产党没问题，但是分析美国政治和美国社会 he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And Stone G, full of shit. These guys are fucking full of shit. Jiang Feng Shike. Oh, you said, Nara, you said that he is that guy? Actually, he's pretty good, actually. I like him. I don't watch him a lot. I've only watched a few things because he follows me on Twitter. So, oh no, I'm thinking of Wang Jian. You're right. I have no enemy. I'm thinking of Wang Jian. I am thinking of Wang Jian. I am thinking of Wang Jian. I have no idea though. I don't know. I have no idea. This is an interesting question. Yeah, he only cares about himself. Who doesn't? Guess what? Actually, a lot of people, good people. Guess what? There's a difference. In economics, there's a term called self-interested. And there's a self-interest, and then there's another term that's called selfish. Selfish is 自私. Selfish is you do things that are selfish. But self-interested is that, like, for example, when you give money to a homeless person, you're not doing it because you really want to help them out. You're doing it because when you give money to a homeless person, it gives you a sense of, I'm helping out. I'm a good person. I'm doing good things. I'm helping things out. It gives you a dopamine rush or a serotonin rush that you're donating, that's self-interest. That's not selfish. It's self-interest. And every human being, as long as you are a human being, you will act in self-interest, right? You will act in self-interest. I love doing this stream with you guys. I love it. It is in self-interest to me, though. I'm getting pleasure out of talking to people about all this stuff that I think about all day. It's giving me pleasure, you know? So it is ultimately self-interested. But it's not selfish. It's not selfish, right? There is a difference. 看不见的手是有区别的，是有区别的。The thing that you guys will notice about that I think is funny about triumphant, about fans, about Trump, there was a person on my comment because I made fun of Biden in my video. There was a person in my comment section that was like, dude, you're going to lose Biden fans after this. And it's like, and then someone else said, Biden doesn't have any fans. And you're right. You know why? Because Trump fans are a part of the cult personality. You shouldn't be a fan of any politician. They work for you. The politicians are your employees. They work for you. You should not be a fan of Trump. You should be a fan of his policies. If you like his policies, that's cool. But they're not celebrities, okay? He wasn't in the Avengers, you know, crushing bad guys with rock hard abs. He is now a politician. He works for you. You should not be a fan of him. He works for you. Some of these Chinese Trump fans, I feel like, do not understand that basic concept of democracy. Politicians are public servants. They work for you. If you're a fan of them, then your life needs to have more interesting shit in it. I'm talking about politics right here. Politics only makes up a small part of my life. Not a small part, probably 35%, maybe 40% of my life. I have other shit, dude. I spent a lot of this stream talking about World of Warcraft. You know, if you guys want to talk about the Boston Celtics, the NBA, or Pokemon, I'm down. You know, you should have other interests in life than politics. If you're looking up to a politician, if a politician is your hero, I don't know. It rubs me personally the wrong way. I think a mature voter doesn't. Oh, I'm just a Democrat, so I'm going to be like this. Oh, I'm a Republican, so obviously I'm going to be like this. Dude, who has the better point? Who has the better policy? I go for them. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't identify myself with a party. I don't identify myself with straight white men. Identity politics are dumb. Oh, you know me. I'm just a straight white guy. So obviously I'm going to like Gengar. Identity politics are fucking stupid, man. Do you know CCP made the coronavirus in a PLA lab? This is a really interesting question. And it's an interesting question because, guys, didn't SARS leak from a Beijing lab? I think it did. The CCP made a coronavirus in a PLA lab. I do think that the Communist Party made the coronavirus, maybe not the party directly, but I do think it was made in a lab. And I do think it leaked out of that lab. And I think it leaked out of that lab probably in like fucking September or probably like August. And there's like a Harvard study about that. I would suggest it to Google it to anybody. But I do think it leaked out of that lab. And I think the local government's response to it leaking out of that lab was crush. Don't let anybody know. As long as we can crush the problem, that'll be good. We're good. As long as I can keep plugging my fingers in the dam, the water will eventually stop. And what they didn't realize is obviously that dam is going to overflow and kill you. So it was the local government's error originally, but the fact that he thought that that was a good move was because he's a part of China's authoritarian government regime where you just have to perform, and if you don't perform, you'll get kicked out. You can't say the truth. If you speak the truth in modern China, you will be punished. So yeah, I do think it was made in a lab. I do think it probably leaked out on accident. I do not think it was on purpose. And I think that the Chinese government did their best to crush it in the best way they could as uneducated fucking morons that Xi Jinping likes, because the only person that would like Xi Jinping is a pussy ass bitch that doesn't have the testicular fortitude to speak for himself. And so he tried to crush it instead of actually handling the issue. And now we're in a global pandemic that will change mankind for the rest of our lives. So guys, cheers, right? Oh, wow. What a crazy time to be alive. I hope I answered your question there. I hope I answered your questions. Words of wisdom. This is a really great question. I like this. Any thoughts on the mandate of heaven? Here's the interesting thing that you guys might not know about the mandate of heaven. Chinese people actually believe it. Like, there's a lot of Chinese people that actually still believe that if there's floods, if there's a virus, if shit is happening in the natural world that's fucking your shit up, that is the heavens telling you that your leader sucks balls and that he needs to go. And a lot of Communist Party members, as well as Chinese citizens, still believe it. Lula, nice to see you back, ZG. I'm not going to... oh, wow, what a picture too, ZG. Holy shit. It's just like got a huge push-up bra with the boobs right there. If that's you, you should direct message me on Instagram. We need to go on a date. 乐乐，美国大选过后还会继续灭共吗？还是中美关系又回到以前那样？ I've talked about this before. 其实这个问题我就是以双语来回答吧。肯定现在已经没有回头之路了。现在没有回头之路了。现在美国社会已经形成了一个共识，那就是要反共，要反共。就是共产党现在是我们世界上就跟当年欧洲反 Nazis 一样。所以美国人，如果你是舔共的政客，你肯定没有办法上台，或者说你如果实行一些任何跟中国或者说要跟共产党和好的政策的话，美国老百姓肯定不会吃这一套。我跟你说，这是川普做的唯一的好事，就在这儿。还有世卫，他在批评世卫这方面上，我也挺支持他。So yeah, so what she asked is, after the election, is there a chance that America, will we continue to try and crush the Communist Party, or are we going to return to the previous form of U.S.-China relationships? And my answer is, Americans have already got this sense of like China is now an enemy. The Chinese government is the most dangerous threat to mankind that we've ever had since the Nazi regime. And I would actually argue that they're more dangerous than the Nazi regime because they have nukes, because they have resources, right? We are at risk if we don't do this well, we're at risk of seeing another Iron Curtain come down. We are at risk of that, of China influencing places like Cambodia, North Korea, fucking Iran, places like this, in just having another Iron Curtain come down, which I hope doesn't happen. But that could happen. It definitely could happen. The only thing I can say is Americans definitely have woken up to the fact that the CCP is the enemy. Do you feel me? How do I know this? I've studied Chinese for 12 years. Every single one of my American friends, when they have any question related to China, you know who they text? You know when John Oliver puts out an episode about the Uyghurs? When he puts out an episode of the Uyghurs, talking about what's happening to the Uyghurs in Xinjiang. Do you know who all of my American friends text? This guy. They text me. They hit me up. And they're like, dude, what the fuck? Well, who's this she guy? What's wrong with Winnie the Pooh? They text me. Okay, that's how I know. Americans hit me up. All right. And I'm not like Guo Jie. I'm not like these other white monkeys that were fucking losers in their own country. I'm not trying to say I was a cool dude or I'm a man, but I was in a fraternity and I was an American man. Okay. I didn't run away from American culture. I embraced it wholeheartedly. I pack chewing tobacco with my bros. Okay. All these guys now, a lot of them are doctors. A lot of them work on Wall Street. They hit me up for China advice. And you know what they know? You know what they say? Fuck Xi Jinping and fuck the CCP. It's popular culture now, man. It is. So it doesn't matter if Trump gets reelected or not. Americans are aware of the CCP's evil. Irrational Bull. Nice to see you again. University of Wisconsin made bird flu as communicable as the common cold with a 60% mortality rate. In 2014, Obama administration was unaware and shut it down. Hold on. University of Wisconsin made bird flu as communicable as the common cold with 60% mortality rate. So, Obama administration was unaware and shut it down. Wow. I didn't fucking know that. That's scary. So Irrational Bull, what you're saying is that powerful governments will do that. We will finance the creation, or countries will have the creation of deadly viruses in controlled laboratories because we need to learn about them. I'm assuming that's the reason we do it, is we have to learn about them and we have to learn how we could try and beat them in the unexpected chance that it fucks shit up, right? Irrational Bull, that's what I'm guessing. It's really interesting because one of my really good friends who used to make LSD that we would take now works at the CDC. He has his own lab. He runs his own lab. He's the man. He's a really smart kid. He told me that the entire CDC's architecture is made for consideration like that. So if there was ever a chance of a virus leaking, that the building or the rooms that contain that virus, if it could sense any virus leaving, if it could sense a virus leaving that room, that the room itself would implode, that it would create an air vacuum that traps in molecules and implodes on itself. Which is great because America has great standards for stuff like that because we have something called law. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of a legal system, law. China doesn't have that. The legal system is do what the party says. Listen to Xi Jinping because he's the man. Wow, Kane, I can't believe you're still awake, brother. Did you go to bed and come back up? I can't believe you're still awake, man. God damn. 乐得看得懂中文吗? Of course, dude. 那是必须的. Come on. Of course I read Chinese. All right, last beer, guys. Last beer, and then we're out. All right, last beer, friends. Andrew Yang. Absolutely, Kane. That's who I'm dude, guys. I'm not a fan of politicians. However, Andrew Yang's policies, they certainly make sense to me. Andrew Yang was on Joe Rogan's podcast for 3 hours. What kind of politician? What if Donald Trump went on Andrew Yang's podcast for 3 hours? What do you think he would say? Or not Andrew Yang. What if he went on Joe Rogan's podcast for 3 hours? You think he could do it? You think he could handle it? No. If we want CCP to rule the world in 10 years, vote Biden. If we want to see the collapse of CCP in our lifetime, vote Trump. Do you guys see? 首先我想说谢谢你，你给我打赏，我当然要首先感谢你。I want to thank you first for giving that tip. And I want to tell you that your view is what is known as extremism. You're taking to an extreme. You're saying, if this happens, then this will happen. But if this happens, then this will happen. And here's the thing. The American political system is extremely confusing. And the world, the global economy is even more confusing. So if you think that one factor will have that much influence, then I don't think you're thinking hard enough. I don't think that you're analyzing it from enough of a complete perspective. That's what I would say. You know, it's easy. Extremism, the temptation of extremism. The temptation of extremism is it doesn't require you to think. It doesn't require you to think. If you just think that like it's definitely this way or it's definitely this way, you're not thinking. Because nothing is black and white. Nothing is black and white. Nothing is. Nothing's black and white. So there's nothing that you could say that's like, oh, it's 100% this way. Oh, I'm a 100% sure. As long as I don't have sex before marriage, I will go to heaven. That's what it is, dude. That's what extremism is. That's what extremism is. Hey, I'm sure as long as I don't eat pork, I will go to heaven. Come on, man. There's no extremism. Look at this. Everyone's played Pokemon, right? There is no extremisms in Pokemon except for bug type Pokemon are generally pretty shitty, and so are normal type. But generally speaking, every Pokemon and every Pokemon type has its own validity, right? There is something to be learned from every type. Okay. There is absolute truth. You will die. That is the truth. 看不见的手. That's damn goddamn right. So I really do like Buddhism, but I don't like the way that Buddhism has been used by not only Chinese people, but also by a lot of Western people to become a sort of a religion. Because I think if you understand Buddhism, you understand that it's more of a philosophy of how you should live life. And one of the first noble truth of Buddhism, is life is suffering. No matter how good you think someone's life is, we're all suffering in a certain extent. Like everything is going to be suffering. There will be consequences of everything that you do. In every single human being, you know, there might be moments of joy. There might be moments of happiness. I'm happy right now. I'm drinking my 4th IPA. I'm streaming with all my friends. I am very happy and content in this moment. But as soon as I wake up tomorrow, you know what I'm going to be thinking? I'm going to be thinking, fuck, I've got to start the script for Thursday's video. I've got to start thinking that, holy shit, ever since that Voice of America article, I have a much larger audience. I cannot fuck this up. I have to write something that is good, that is sincere, that comes from my heart, that will also make my audience happy. That's stress that will influence me, and that will cause me to suffer. Everybody will feel that suffering. right? That's why religion and that's why extremism is so appealing, because it makes you think that I got it. As long as I support this person, all my suffering will be gone. I'll be good. As long as I pursue Jesus Christ, as long as I pursue, Muhammad, I'll be good. But in reality, you will never escape suffering. The only thing that you can do is try and learn how to deal with suffering, learn how to really value the moments of happiness. Guys, the reason I'm using a goddamn Bose speaker to open my beers. You know why? Because I have forgotten to get a beer can or a beer bottle opener, because I only drink on Friday nights with you guys, because it literally gets me through the week. I go through the week stressed out about my content, stressed out about not putting stuff out that people will like. But then I put it out on Thursday and I get to Friday night and I can drink a few beers with you guys. And that's happiness for me. It's a moment of joy. And I prize it. I say thank you guys all for being here. And I don't want to sound like a cheesy streamer, but I'm sincere when I'm telling you guys, I fucking appreciate the fact that you're here. It means the world to me. It means everything to me. And I'm so glad that we can have this with each other. Stream class. Wow, that's the ticket, bro. NFT too. I'm not only going to stream it, but you're probably going to be in my guild when we stream it. Michael Frank, I'm glad to see that you're still here. I didn't see if you answered the question of whether or not our sports jackets are the same. I feel like I should put a picture of my sports jacket. If I wasn't 2 hours into the stream, I would go get the sports jacket and put it on. If Xi Jinping was a Pokemon, what would it be? My easy answer is Snorlax, right? Probably Snorlax. But I'd say probably Snorlax, but let me think about it. Part of me wants to say Poliwrath, but Muck, dude. Yeah, Muck. Yeah, I think you could say Muck. Hold on. Let me look. Yeah. I'm gonna have to say Muck, because Snorlax was actually like pretty powerful and pretty good at what he did. So I'd have to say Muck. Right. Muck, I guess, was an okay Pokemon if you like Grimer and you like that shit. If you like Pokemon Snap, maybe you liked Muck. But I would have to say Muck. Psyduck now, maybe Psyduck. That's interesting. Master Chief says Psyduck, which he's referring to the fact that when Psyduck gets really stressed, he just fucking loses it and blows shit up. Yo, all right. While we finish this stream, we're coming up to the end of this stream. While we come up to the end of the stream, I got to suggest one movie and one television show for all of you. One television show and one movie. The movie is Detective Pikachu. Dude, I watched this movie randomly like 2 weeks ago, and I had no idea. But this movie is actually pretty entertaining. Like Detective Pikachu, Ryan Reynolds is the voice of Pikachu. It's a compelling story. They got pretty good CGI. And it's pretty funny. They have adult jokes. You know how SpongeBob SquarePants has like a jokes that come in every once in a while that are just like really funny for adults. If you're an adult, you're just like, oh my God, that's hilarious. God damn. And then the other movie that I want to suggest is going to be after, just because, well, Kane, thank you. Kane, are you awake right now? Did you go to sleep? Or are you just still awake with us right now? Kane, it's a pleasure to have you, my friend. It's a goddamn pleasure to have you, Kane. Thank you so much for that. And Kane, I want you to watch this. God, this is particularly relevant to you, Kane. The TV show I'm going to suggest to you guys is How to Sell Drugs Online Fast. It's on Netflix. And the reason it's particularly relevant to you, Kane, is because they deal with European society, which is really interesting as an American. Because the main characters are German, but they go to the Netherlands, and then they're also influenced by people from not Bosnia. A certain country that in Germany is known for having like certain mafias that help accelerate the dealing of drugs. But I know you're Norwegian. I know that you're from the Scandinavian region. As soon as we look at your picture, we know that. But I just think as an American, it's really interesting to get a little peek into European culture, to be like, oh yeah, that's the same as us. Oh, that's the same as us. That's the same as us. Whoa, that seems pretty different. That seems pretty different. But guys, if you're looking for a good TV show, Kane, please go watch this show. How to Sell Drugs Online Fast. It's on Netflix. They have different voiceovers, and if you don't speak German, if you don't speak any of the languages, select the English voiceover. Watch the English voiceover. It's really good. Like, seriously, I hate voiceovers, dude. I've watched a lot of like kung fu movies with old shitty English voiceovers. The English voiceover that Netflix did for this show is fucking pro, dude. Professional. Okay. So go watch this show. It is awesome. Awesome. How to Sell Drugs Online. Dude, I'm telling you, the second season just came out, and I haven't been as excited to finish the show since fucking, I don't know, since like the Michael Jordan documentary? I don't know, man. But it's awesome. It also makes you want to take ecstasy. If anybody's watching this right now that's considering taking ecstasy, let me give you a few pointers. Let me give you a few pointers. Yeah, now we too hao. Dude, I'm telling you guys, Kane's got a dope boat, man. Kane is like a man of culture. He likes good music. Dude, I'm not just saying this because you gave me a good tip. We talk regularly on Instagram chat. I'm telling you, ladies, if you're single and you're interested, hit this man up. Oh, wow. Hey, Brenda. Thank you so much, Brenda. Brenda, even though you don't have a picture and you didn't ask a question, I do want to thank you. But I'm going to answer a question that a lot of you might have in your mind, which is, should I take ecstasy and where should I take it? Where should I be when I take MDMA? First of all, MDMA and ecstasy are the same thing for those of you that don't know. Ecstasy is usually cut with something else. Sometimes it's creatine. Sometimes it's a bad drug that will get you more pumped up than you want to be. Okay. But if you're considering taking ecstasy, do not take it at music festivals. Everyone takes ecstasy and they go to a big party and they dance with a bunch of music. Woo, a bunch of lights. Oh my God, these lights are so cool. I'm having the best time ever. Do not do that. Do not do that. Ecstasy and MDMA, the best way you can enjoy that drug, which, by the way, be careful with it because it's not like acid. It's not like shrooms. It's not like these other ones where like it's not addictive. MDMA can be addictive because you can feel like, oh, I can't have a good time without it. So be careful with it. However, especially for those of you that have someone you love, that have someone you're in love with, oh, I love you so much, baby. Think about reserving a Friday night. Get your babe over to your house. Put a bunch of pillows on the ground, get a nice speaker, put on a good playlist that you love, music that both of you guys love. Take your ecstasy at 6:00 p.m. Fucking trip and feel and roll until like 1 a.m. Probably have sex. I've had sex on ecstasy, and I will tell all of you, I've never come I've never actually, as a guy, I've never came while on ecstasy. The women have come for sure. The girls have Gaochao before, definitely. The women have definitely come multiple times. But as a man, for some reason, I just can't come. But you still enjoy sex a lot. But that won't be the only thing you do. You guys will hold each other. You'll fucking like, oh, babe, I love you so much. Eat some fruit, get some comfortable pillows, some good music that you like in the comfort of your own home. Do that. That's a good ecstasy trip. Do not go to music festivals on ecstasy. It's not as fun as you think. There's a lot happening. It's not as good of a time as you think. I highly recommend taking it and being with your loved ones, being with the person you love. Enjoy it in that way. That is the best way to enjoy it. That is really the best way to enjoy it. Unfortunately for me, I haven't taken ecstasy in probably 2 years, maybe 3 years, because it's been so long since I've been with a girl that I really care about and love. This is like, this stream's getting so sad now. Oh, damn. Oh, there is one girl I would take ecstasy with. She's a Chinese news anchor. This is definitely a little 4 IPAs in until I'd tell you guys something like this. Been single for so long. I've been single for 7 years now. Obviously, I've had girls that we make it maybe 2 months, 3 months, even like 2 or 3 months, but it just never works. And it's not saying that I just didn't find any of them to be girlfriend material. Most of it, that's how it happened. But there was one girl when I was 25, maybe 26, that came and co-hosted the People's Daily, the People's Daily online edition event with me. It was a U.S. launch of the People's Daily International Edition. It was a huge event. It was a series. It was a 3-day series of events, huge events. And this girl, it's like, dude, it's literally a rom-com. It's like a goddamn movie. This girl flew in. I had to go pick her up with a bunch of the other team members. And we're sitting in the back of the car. She's off of a 15-hour flight. If any of you guys have ever flown to or fro China, you know how much that flight sucks. And this girl and I are already connecting. I'm already making jokes. She's laughing. And then we have to meet to write the script for the event. We meet and we write the script. And we write it, we finish it, then we have a few drinks and we go to an American bar and we walk through a park. And it's the goddamn most romantic thing. It's the most romantic weekend I've ever had. We host the event the next day. Kill it. She's a pro. This girl's a pro. We host the shit out of this event. Just like, 女士们,先生们,大家晚上好. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the U.S. launch of the People's Daily Online. And then we have 2 more days with each other. And it was the only girl in the last 7 years that I've ever felt oh, not only does she like my humor, but she builds on it. I make a sarcastic joke and she just builds on it. And her English sucked too. That was the most crazy thing, because I thought that I would always want to be with a girl that speaks bilingually, that can speak really bilingually. And this girl was just more Chinese. And yeah, as everybody knows in Chinese, that everybody that's ever been to China knows that in China there's pressures of 催婚. You have to get pressure to get married. And so she had that pressure to get married, and it didn't work out. And now if you gave my videos to her, she'd be like, yeah, I definitely can't hook up with that guy. Definitely can't be with him. But that was it. That was the only girl in the last 5 years that I would be down to take ecstasy with, to roll with. to roll around really comfortable pillows listening to great music would be a girl. She's actually a news anchor in China right now. She's literally a news anchor in China. It wasn't a one night stand. We had sex every night. No, I not the first night, but the second, third, and fourth nights. And when I went back to China and visited for a bit, we did too. Dude, if the Communist Party ever crumbles, man, you bet your ass that she will be the first person I contact. 100%. She will be the first person I contact. She'll be the first person I hit up. Definitely, without a doubt. She would be it. She was a year older than me, though. So she had a lot of pressure to get married. In China, they have a lot of pressure to get married. It's fucking bullshit, man. It's fucking bullshit. How long did the relationship last? Honestly, Baby Wildwood, after that weekend, we maintained contact for a year. I'd call her all the time. And eventually, once she told me that, like, it's not going to work out because I realized that China was fucked and I had to move back to America. Once that happened, she told me it was not going to work out. And I deleted her WeChat because I would always call her when I was drunk. I would always like call her when I was drunk and just be like, dude, I'm a very passionate guy, as I'm sure a lot of you have probably realized. I'm a very passionate guy. I feel things really hard. The only thing is I just have like really high standards for the girl that I want to be with me. You know, she might not be the right girl for a lot of people, but she was the right one for me. It was just the wrong time. It was just the wrong time, unfortunately. Oh, I'm definitely not a Janan. I'm definitely not a Janan. Are you going to call her soon? Are you drunk enough? I honestly, I don't have her WeChat anymore, man. It doesn't matter. Man, if you guys next time I stream, if I get drunk enough, for those of you that are watching this right now, if I get drunk enough, I'll tell you her name because she's not famous enough for it to be a problem at all. But it does make me sad to think about her. Divorces that are at all-time high. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why for these 7 years, I've been really picky. Like, I've been really picky for 7 years. Like, I'm not going to settle for anything. If any girl is not, like, just blowing my mind, like, every second I'm with you, I'm just in love and I'm just loving it, then I'm not down. And this girl was that. This girl, I'm telling you guys, it should be a goddamn rom-com. It should be a movie, dude. Oh, it should be a fucking movie. Oh, man. Can I show her pic? No, I can't. Maybe you guys can find her. Maybe you guys can find her. I think it was a 2016 People's Daily online edition US launch event. If you can find pictures from that event of me and her, then you know who it is. If not, then I can't say. It doesn't matter, though, because people always think that, like, if your name is mentioned on my channel or my streams, that you're going to be in trouble. Guess what, dude? I was on so many Chinese TV shows. I talked with Chris Wu. I talked with everybody. I've talked with very famous Chinese people on television. There is no way that the Chinese government can go after everybody that I've talked to. It just is impossible. It's impossible. I've talked with so many government officials, man. There's no way they can go after everybody. Now they can. After, Xinlongdan, after Cold War 2020. But they cannot go after it now. You will become an old man. Romantics are so delusional. The CCP will not find her first. I mean, there's no way, dude. There's no way. I've talked to so many. I've talked to Chinese directors, like really famous Chinese directors. Like I'm on film interviewing them. Like, there's no way the Chinese Communist Party can restrict everything about me. It just can't happen. Marriage is for procreation and mutual agreement. Yo, Simrak, you and I actually are really similar in that view. I mean, I don't think that I don't agree with you completely, but I do think that marriage has in America, a 49% divorce rate. You're basically flipping a coin. Maybe we should reevaluate marriage. But This girl, if I'm being honest with you, she was the right one. It was just the wrong time. And that's it, guys. We're at 2 hours now. This is the last beer. Done. Finished with the beer. It's been a good Friday night streaming. I like to end it on that because I just want you guys to know that I'm not just, a straight bro that's out here just trying to like fuck chicks. Like, yeah, I do have the capacity to love for sure. I'm an emotional dude. I'm an artist, man. I sit here every day trying to create, to connect with you guys. That's what I try and do. I take it very seriously. Thank you all for coming to this I almost said Saturday night streaming, to this Friday night streaming. It's been a great stream, and I'll see you guys next Friday. I will see you guys next Friday. Thank you so much for coming. It's really been a great job. Don't forget the script. I'm going to be writing that on Sunday. Sunday is usually the day I write it. How many watch from Europe? I don't know. I know Kane's from Europe. Kane is a goddamn champion. Kane is a goddamn champion. Thank you guys so much, though. It's been a really good one. We will have many more, though. We will have many, many, many more. Thank you so much. I'm Lila, and I'm out. Peace, brother. And that's my piece. It's still all about the bullet in the belly of the beast from the east, my brother. We came from the essence of goddamn, I can't even rap other people's songs. Maybe I can rap my own song. Sorry, Mr. Fadi, but if you want to join our league, then pack up your bags, bitch, and move out to the Far East, where our whiskey's fake and all. I can't even rap. I got too drunk. All right, goodbye. Good night, guys.